Hi there, it's Rachel and I'm here with Ruby, and today we're going to be working on an emergency word. This is a really good safety tool for Ruby since she is a small dog. It's easier for her to scoot right by you under your foot and through an open door. An emergency word is a lot like come, but you always have a treat with an emergency word. And pick something, whatever word you use for Ruby's treats or her snacks that she gets at home. I like to use the word treat because most of the time it seems like if you're going to give your dog a treat, you ask, hey Ruby, do you want a treat? Do you want a treat? So she might already associate that word with the food. And she's getting pretty good at come, which I've seen, which is great. And come can be a lot more informal than this emergency word. Because if you're just around the house and you're sitting on the couch and you want to pet her or something, you might say, Ruby, come here. And you won't have a treat, but she gets some affection when she gets to you, and that's great. When you use your emergency word, you want to always have a treat with you for practice. So she learns that every time you give her that command, she gets a treat from you at the end. And this is helpful, so if she ever does scoot out the door and escape, you can give her that word and she'll come back to you, and before she realizes that you don't have a treat in your hand, you can grab her collar and get her safely back inside. So, like I said, I'm going to use the word treat, and the purpose of this is to just get a quicker come and for her to start learning that that word is always associated with food when like the different commands you give her around the house might not always have a treat with you at that time. And so to do this, always have the treat in a closed fist like this that she can see. That way when you say the word and you show her the fist, she'll think that there's food in there and she has no way to know if you need to use this in an emergency that you don't actually have a treat in there, because chances are you won't have time to go in and get the treat for her. So I'm going to start out with her on the leash, just so I can kind of give her a light tug and guide her to me so we can work on getting this quick come. And she's had a full day of playing, so she's a little tired. And so get up, come on Ruby. And that's great, she's walking around. I say, Ruby, treat! Good girl! Good girl. So you can see, I gave her the word, I had my hand down to where she could see it, and I gave her just a little tug in this direction so that she would come to me, and we want to practice it that way so that she gets faster and faster. So we're going to walk her around a bit, let her relax, let her get distracted. I'm going to give her a little bit more leash now. Ruby, treat! Good girl! Good job, Ruby! Yeah! And she's already looking in my hands for more treats, so that's good. She's getting the picture. We'll get a little bit more out for her. She's sniffing over there. That's perfect. Ruby, treat! Good job! Good job, Ruby. She only needs a little bit of pull from the leash, which is good. And we want to get it to the point where it can be done off leash, but just now for practice, and she's in this garage here, and there's so many good smells, I want to first make sure that she starts to learn the word before I take her off leash and push her too far like that. So she's interested in something there. I'm going to walk around. Ruby, treat! Good job! Good job, Ruby. And see, that time I didn't even have to pull on the leash, so I think she's getting it. She jumped up on a swivel chair and startled her there. So, Ruby, treat! Treat! Good girl, Ruby. Good girl. Good job. So Ruby did great, and again, practice this at home. Always have a treat when you practice it, so she learns that. So in case of that emergency, or if she were to get away or run after something, you can say the word, show her the fist like this. She won't know that you don't necessarily have a treat in your hand, and that will be more interesting to her than whatever she's chasing after. So it's a really good safety practice for her. I hope this helps. Again, this was is Rachel and Ruby working on an emergency word.